Good afternoon and welcome back to an update on the preservation of this Riviera 1950 Chris Craft Riviera 20 here in Hamilton, New Zealand. Today is the 27th of August 2019, and today a bit of a milestone day as we've got to the end of the installation of the planks on this boat. Some of you would have seen a few earlier updates where we've shown the boat disassembled, upside down, the original factory bottom removed and the frames exposed, and obviously some subsequent video showing that the frames in this boat were replaced in the engine bay and then subsequently bedded back together with 5200 and installed with all new silicon bronze fastenings through that bottom part of the boat. We then set in place the ply and have then since gone through and machined and created these planks and put all new planks on the bottom of this boat. And it was never my intention to replace the planks on this boat, but when we looked at the ply all finished or sealed up, and then looked at reusing the planks, it just seemed to be such a shame. So we took the step and found this mahogany in New Zealand in a 4800 or 4.8 metre length, which was almost long enough to do this boat. We just had to do one more joint on the fourth plank on the on each side in the aft, which I'll show you in a moment. So quite satisfying to be at this point on this boat. To have these planks all down, all bedded in, just under 60 tubes of 3M 5200 in the bottom of this boat. So it's certainly not going anywhere, and I have spent a lot of time previously involved in race cars, and putting the 5200 bottom on this boat is like putting race suspension in a race car. This boat just feels so much tighter when you come down to the back corner and lift this boat. When you originally put this boat down here, you could lift this boat and it would flex to no end, and now you just cannot get any movement out of it all. They are rigid. So this boat, and it'd be interesting on feedback, but I'd say this boat through the water with a 5200 bottom would feel a considerably different boat than if it had the original factory bottom just screwed in place. So what have we done? So we've machined all new planks. We've dry fitted them, we've steamed all the front planks. This plank here was steamed. We had to steam this plank. This plank here was the toughest. This had 2 sets of steaming, and this plank here had the end steamed as well to get that to go in, and then the rest of the planks went on dry. And as I say, we couldn't quite get the right length of plank, so we this second plank in from the outside edge, we had to put a butt joint in. It's about, I'd say, a metre, so about a yard in from the rear of the boat, but it was just the only way we could deal with it because we could not buy the timber in New Zealand at the right length. We've used a 2-part polyester filler to fill these holes, and so they've all been filled. And then obviously, as you can see, we've started our first cut with regards to fairing the boat, and all my research goes to sort of point that this part of the task is going to be the biggest job, and my right shoulder, this boat has taken a toll on my right shoulder, so the fairing of this boat is coming with a fair bit of pain. So, but look, that's where we're at. 5200 bottom on this 1950 Chris Craft Riviera 20. Just great to be at this place. I lamented the other night to my wife, who has probably paid the price of my near 300 hours of labour on this boat, that, you know, I don't think anybody has done this to a boat of this nature in New Zealand. So this has been really satisfying work for me personally, and really I think set this boat up for the future. So we've additionally installed this first plank on the this is the port side, of course. We've put this first plank back on and 5200 that back into place. You can see back here, there's a bit of a gap. This plank originally jointed on this point, and they were quite badly edge split. So we've cut the damaged timber out of the way, and we've created a nice sharp, nice joint we'll back block it here, and this plank here will be replaced with new, because back down the back end of these boats where all the water sits, it's toast. So this is just guided in as it's been installed as a guide, because if you look down here, next job, is brand new chine. So we've machined this mahogany stock into sort of a base plank in order to start resetting these chines. So that's over the next few weeks. But first and foremost, big job now is plenty of hours of fairing to get this as good as we can get it, and then followed on by 3 coats of what we call Everdure, which is CPES up in the States, and then obviously the obligatory sort of 4 coats of 2000 Interprotect, and then obviously the Pettit's hard racing bronze on from there. So look, that's it. I could talk to this all night. This is quite an achievement, and something I'm very proud of. So look, that's where we're at, and we'll update as we get this boat finished and ready for flipping in about 4 weeks' time. We'll talk later.